everybody, tonight what we are doing is going to be removing and cleaning the mass airflow sensor and the intake air temperature sensor. Now on my car those are pretty accessible and easy for me to get to. On yours it's hard to say, but the process of cleaning these will be the same. Now I do have to be very specific. You do not use brake cleaner, you do not use WD, you don't use anything like that. You use mass airflow sensor cleaner. So here's where we're going. On my car, this is my mass airflow sensor. It's going to be really easy for me to remove. And this is my air intake temperature sensor. So, pretty simply for me, I have 2 bolts on my bracket down here to remove, and then my 2 clamps on my intake tubing. And then that will come out, unplug the wires, and we will spray it and get it nice and clean. And for this part, I'm going to try to spray it while it's still on there instead of taking it out, because it's a monster to get out of this tube. And frankly, I don't want to take my bumper off to get the filter off so I can pull this tube out. So it shouldn't take too much work. Sorry, I got lost looking at this very beautiful powder coating by Signature Products that they did. Should not be a big deal. The symptoms I've been having, I hope that it will fix it. I got in the car today and I had a lot of hesitation and the car was hiccuping real bad and it wouldn't idle, and it was pretty bad, and it's got me quite nervous. But we're gonna clean these as the first step to fixing whatever problem I am now having with the car. I'm hoping that this will fix it. So anyway, I digress. Let me get some tools out and get that off real quick, and then we're going to look at inside it and look at it, and we're going to go about cleaning it. So this is the mass airflow sensor, and this is the incoming side, and this is to the engine, and that's what the mesh is for, to help protect things and debris from hitting the sensors itself. So as you can see, let's see if I can get some better lighting for you guys. That little thin wire sticking down there, that's one of them, and the other one is up top up here. Now you do not want to touch these wires, but we are going to spray them, and this is what we're using, like I said before, the mass airflow sensor. Now to actually spray this, all you got to do is hold it about 8 inches away and just spray this. Now we're going to spray it for several seconds, 2 to 3 seconds, steady, and let it dry, and then we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it from both sides. I'm really hopeful that this will fix this. Okay, so here is the air intake. Hold on, my little tripod's in the way here. There. So we're going to spray that while it is in the tube in there, and I don't think that it's really dirty, but we're already in here doing this, so we're going to clean that as well. So, to clean this side, like I said, 8 to 10 inches away. Don't touch the wires. Okay, I'll let that dry. Okay, and again. Okay. Now we're going to flip it over and do this side, and I'm going to be a lot more broad with my spraying. So I want to clean the majority of this. So I don't want to just clean the sensor. I would like to clean the entire internals of the sensor here. Okay, same deal. Let it dry, And spray it again. Okay, now I've turned it back over again, and I'm going to do this side again. I'm going to be broad like I said. I'm going to get the whole body of the sensor and the actual wires as well. Be sure to get the top. You can probably actually see it drying up if the resolution is good enough. It is very, very fast drying. And I'm a paranoid, borderline schizophrenic who's extremely suspicious of everything, and I worry about nothing. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then we are going to set it aside and let it dry for 10 minutes or so before we reinstall it. Now, you do not want to be doing this when it is warm. My car's been sitting. So if that wire is warm, you don't want to do this, and you do not want to start the car with it still damp. Last time, I promise. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a fresh towel here. Ooh, my last towel. And I'm going to set it this way so nothing settles on the wires. I'm actually going to set it down like that, out of the way. And we will come back. Actually, you know what? I about forgot. We have to go and clean the air temperature sensor. I about forgot about that. Let me get you guys posed up on here. Now this, I'm not so sure about, but we're going to do it anyway. I know that this is okay for this sensor. And I'm going to try to keep the drop light both out of your vision and away from this so I don't accidentally explode everything. Although that would make for a very interesting video. And on this one, I'm just going to aim back in where our sensor is. See if I can angle you guys a little bit more without the camera falling into my engine bay here. Bear with me. I apologize. Whiskey. So, here we go. All right, we're gonna let that one go. Okay, so we're gonna let this sit here for, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes, and hopefully it will have dried and we can reinstall. Okay, it's been sitting about 15-20 minutes. Look over it, make sure it's nice and dry. Looks good to me. Sorry, the wire looks weird. The top wires, they look like there's almost a spot on them, but I mean, honestly, I don't know enough about these to know what they're supposed to look like. So, all right, well, let's put this thing back in the car. Remember to put it in the correct way. So, for me anyway, for this car, for this specific sensor, the mesh is the intake side. So the air goes through it from the air filter, through this, out the back side, and into the intake manifold. So let's go put this back on the car. Okay, put it back on. Like the exact reverse of when I took it off. I just have my two T-clamps and then my two mounting bolts on the side of the housing. Now I say this in all my videos, especially if you've got an older car. This one's an 03. Do be gentle with these old wires. They do get brittle in time and they do start to crack. But make sure that you hook everything back up. And I'm always hoping there's never verdigris. I really need to start using electrical grease on some of these things and be a better example to the 8 of you. This is a very easy job. The can of cleaner's less than $10, and if this fixes my problem, this was the easiest, cheapest, best thing I've ever done. I really hope that it did. I'm a pessimist at heart, so I don't hold too much hope that I fixed the problem, but I certainly did not hurt it any. We will start the car. It's late now, and I honestly am freezing to death, even in my garage, and I'm sick of hearing the wind blow my garage door. So I will find out if it changed anything tomorrow when I run the car. But like I said, this is a very, easy job. It's a very simple thing to do to clean these. It's probably even easier on a stock car as opposed to this one, because my T-clamps, my bracketing and stuff, it's more difficult. I got to get out ratchets and stuff, but yours is probably going to be held on with a typical hose clamp. With the straight slot screwdriver, it's just a worm screw that tightens them, and you won't have to go through all of this to get it off. Anyway, I suggest doing this every so often anyway, just to make sure it stays clean. It's always easier to keep something clean than it is to clean it after it's dirty. But all in all, like I said another 3 times before, this is a very easy job, and it's not a difficult thing to do. So there we go. That's it. Cleaning the mass airflow sensor. Thank you for watching.
Behind me, you'll see a car.